Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to Four Guys in a Bar podcast, sponsored by Chiefs Blitz and presented by Dave Purdy with Supreme Lending. For your mortgage solutions, call Dave today at 816-405-5831. That's 816-405-5831 because he's pretty good. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Tillman, and Hense Todd.
Welcome back to the next edition of Four Guys in a Bar, presented by Chiefs Blitz. I am your host, Nick Athan. Hense Todd, producer extraordinaire, partner on this venture. Also, you can catch him on Saturdays at 1 o'clock. His YouTube channel is at Bowtie Sports. He and Andre do a terrific job. Sometimes they let us on and let us have our say and have some comments on it. But before we get started, I want to introduce to you first one of my good friends and one of our corporate sponsors, and that would be Mr. Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Group. Eric is a longtime friend. I've known him for decades. He's a huge Chiefs fan. He is a guy that I have hired. Hense is hired as well to make sure that we find the right house. He did that for me. Hense is still looking. He has worked diligently between inspections and things that we want to get fixed in the house before we move in, to making sure this is the right house for the family. He has been all hands on, and that's what you want when you have a real estate advisor. You have to have somebody you trust. So from personal experience, setting the friendship aside, that's just a bonus. Give Eric a call at 816-729-3785, or you can email Eric at esellskc@gmail.com. Eric is a good dude. He will take care of you as he's taking care of me and he's taking care of Hense. He is your best option in looking to buy or to sell a house. Eric Haynes, 816-729-3785.
Proud sponsor, Chief Who?
Proud sponsor, Chiefs Who. And I am proud to bring on the other senior member of the crew, Mr. Lou Montagna, and my good friend, Mr. Andre Tillman, who has brought such fun and joy to the show in a way that, you know, you're just being you, dude.
That's
all
right.
You guys are.
That's
all you
right.
guys are.
That's
I
right.
appreciate all of you. It's been a tough week. We're going to kind of talk about this.
You can't be wearing my style of hat. I just realized.
He's got a nice hat. Look at that hat. You're wearing your skull cap again. All right. You look stylish though.
I appreciate it. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we're going to kind of address the elephant in the room. We don't want to dwell on this too much because honestly, you know, Hense, Andre and I were both at the parade. I was there with my wife, my son, who flew in from Virginia. He's going to be stationed in the Air Force in Germany. This is the last time I'm going to see him. And the parade was great. And then the aftermath was uncomfortable, to say the least. There are various levels of emotions that I have. I posted in an article yesterday just to kind of get it out of my system because, you know, I had a couple-hour drive on the way home, and you know, with my wife, and I'm just like, you know, I just can't believe that. You know, the violence in this country is bad enough. The violence in our youth is bad enough, and to be able to see that firsthand, it hurt. It was senseless. It was stupid. Juveniles with guns shouldn't be allowed. We can lay blame as to what happened. I think Quentin Lucas, the mayor, definitely had some issues that he could have addressed. There was no security like there was for the NFL draft, which if you've got Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs franchise, the owner, you got billionaires and millionaires on the stage. Your job is to protect them, but more so is to protect the youth in our country. And these children were attacked needlessly. The two young men are in custody. They have been charged. They're juveniles. They'll be charged as adults, which I think is great. They're going to be in prison for a very long time. There are enough eyewitnesses to make sure. And this picture here, I saw this yesterday. Hense saw it today. That is our number one goal, people. It is to protect our children at all costs. And our leaders and our police departments have got to decide they're going to take a stance on crime. Kansas City has one of the highest crime rates in the country. They have over 120 homicides already this year, and we are in February 16th. It's got to stop. It isn't going to stop until our leaders decide. It's a lot better to dive in, get involved, do something about it, and quit going on social media and hobnobbing with the elites in Kansas City. It's going to stop. It has to stop. Chiefs players are behind this. We're behind it. The citizens of Kansas City, and props to all the people who have donated money to the families in the hospitals. We applaud you. KC is unique, where KC Strong is, and we have to look at this and say, okay, now's the time that we can do something. We are all affected by this, but it's not going to deter me from going to another parade. It's going to deter me from attending a Super Bowl hopefully next year in New Orleans when the Kansas City Chiefs host the Detroit Lions. I'm all in. I'm not going to let this bother me. I'm going to help where I can. I'm going to use this forum and this voice of mine that I have to make sure that we protect our children at all costs. It's their time. We have to save this country for them. So with that said, that's my rant. That's how I felt about it. My prayers to the families, to the victims, to the young women and the young boys that I saw crying leaving the Crown Center area in total shock. I hope they understand that there was no rhyme or reason for this. I hope they have strong support from their families, and we all take each other and we get through it, and we help one another along, and we get back to doing the right things in the city of Kansas City, which whom we all love. And that's it right there. That's the reason.
Most definitely.
What I would like to say is I want to thank God for protecting me and also protecting Coach Dre, because hey, we was right in the midst of the first shooting. Like, thank God that he protect us. Also, I like to say, we got to get a hold of this youth, the young people that's under us, the young adults that's growing into be adults, because they are our future. If this is our future, then what the heck, you know what I mean? Because we got to teach them that, hey, you don't got to fight every battle. You got to, because your future in your hands. Like I tell my kids every day, these are your golden years. Take heed to them. You know what I mean? Make sure that you doing all you need to do to attack life at its fully capacity. It was kids down there. I don't even post a picture yet because I took some amazing shots, but I'm just like it just ruined my day. Like, you know what I mean? Because it was a beautiful kids down there. All Mahomes jerseys on, dressing like Mahomes. Kids. They kids down there in wheelchairs. Kids down there. Just enjoying the parade. But you're always gonna have your bad apples that can try to spoil the whole parade. But that would not be Kansas City. That would not be us. That would not be our future. That's not who we stand for. We all stand strong as a community, as Chiefs Kingdom. That is not the kingdom. That's all just individuals that have been misled or not been taught how to deal with their feelings. You don't got to fight every battle. Just learn how to talk it out with somebody that you have odds with.
Yep.
Maybe you can work something out. You don't have to pick up a gun or pick up a this or that to figure it out. Your emotions. A lot of people don't handle their emotions nowadays, and that's what you see now. And also, our condolences to the families of the lady that passed. Lopez, Mr. Lopez.
Lisa Lopez, yeah.
Our condolences to them. Also, our condolences to everybody that got injured or got trampled. Also, the ones that witnessed it, the young kids that witnessed it, the adults the kids that ask every day, why this happened, why did they do that? You know what I mean? The people that still hold on to their spirits, their minds, and their souls. And I just pray that this situation gets better, and I pray we get hold of this youth. Because we can talk about it, but actually, what you gonna do about it?
Yep.
Anybody else you guys say? That was my spiel.
Well, I'm gonna say this. Just better security, guys. Like where they failed at was metal detectors, clear bags. If they had clear bags, we wouldn't have had this issue. It's all about the safety of the people, man. We get it. Everybody want to come out and show love, but we had to like enforce better rules when dealing with a big crowd. We must have metal detectors. We must enforce the clear bag rule at all events dealing with any sports event. You know, so again, like I'm saying, my condolences out there to Lisa Lopez's family, because it was a big loss for Kansas City, because she was one of the best radio hosts in Kansas City, you know, and for her to lose her life like that over some sad, just some bonehead stuff. Like, it to me, it was like I told Bo, I was gonna hop out the car. I was gonna hop out the car and help. I was gonna hop out the car and help, because like I told Bo, I'm tired of just sitting around. Everybody want to record and look, do this and do that. I said, no, I'm gonna make an effort to go out there and make a change and do something. I'm not gonna sit back and just watch stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I could save a life. You know, sometimes you go out there, you put yourself at risk, but at the same time, like, I'd rather do that and save. But if I had to go out there and I have to go, and I'm not wishing that on myself at all, but I can save 20 more people, I'm fine with that, because we can't sit around and let that happen. But again, we must enforce the rules. We must enforce rules and regulations. You know, and that's my spill on that.
Yeah, and the reason why I grabbed him back into the car, I didn't want him running with the crowd and they think it's him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, no.
But we was well prepared for anything.
Yeah,
We was well prepared for anything. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Lou, you had a different perspective because you weren't there. You're watching it on TV.
Yeah. First off, I'm glad you guys are okay. And I guess the worst part of it is that you've got, and just like you said, watching it on TV, you see all these people with their families, their friends, and it's kind of going to be like this momentous family occasion, like this huge memory. And I don't know of anyone that was in the crowd that can now look back on that day and not think about what happened after the fact.
Yeah.
So you hate, for that, especially for you guys all had mentioned, like the little kids, and that's going to be, I think, the overriding memory that they're going to have. Absolutely. Right. And you hope they can kind of channel that into a positive thing and be the voices of change and be those calmer people that can talk things out, like Hense was saying. But it was just because, again, you're watching on TV. I'm watching on NFL Network. So I have no idea what's going on. I mean, it was pretty much over. The players were going off. Now, I don't know after the fact if I'm finding out that they were being ushered off, because it seemed like it was a lot quicker than it was last year. But again, just my thoughts go to everybody that was injured, everybody that had to witness it. Obviously, the woman that passed had a big impact on Kansas City, so that's a huge loss, and it was just, again, senseless. So you hate that, because it's supposed to be this great super day. I mean, everybody's celebrating. It's a celebration. Right. What are we doing? So just sorry it had to end up that way.
Yeah. So again, to recap, the two juveniles are in custody. They have been formally charged for evading police and having weapons and God knows what else. They're going to add to it. They will be tried as adults, and the court system will run its process. The names have not been released. There are certainly enough photos out there, but at the end of the day, again, from everybody at ChiefsBlitz.com who was there, our message between the four of us is Kansas City Chiefs won back-to-back Super Bowls. The city of Kansas City is already responding. Even the new number one fan of the Chiefs put her money where her mouth was and donated $100,000 to the family. We're going to get through this. We're going to survive this. We're going to be better for it. We are going to make change. And I want to give a special shout out, probably not listen to the show, but Justin Reed, the Chiefs starting safety, has made a commitment that he's going to help end this. He's going to help end and protect children. And I thought his words and his statement on Instagram were top shelf. And I hope he plays the rest of his career here in Kansas City, because he has a huge heart, as Mahomes and Kelce, Jones, all these a lot of these guys have donated money. It hasn't been released. It's not going to be announced. but they're all coming together, including the Chiefs and the Hunt family, I'm sure. So at the end of the day, let's learn from this. Let's be better for this. Let's protect our children. And also let's enjoy the fact that the Chiefs are on the path to become the first three-peat champion in NFL history. And I think we should celebrate that as well, knowing now that the most of the people affected by this, all but one remains in the hospital. Everybody else is home, and that's great news.
Amazing news. So I would like to take this moment and have a moment of silence for Ms. Lopez.
Fair enough.
And let's get this show on the road.
Amen.
So, guys, as we as the parade. So, what are your thoughts on the Super Bowl overall?
Back to back, Todd. Come on, man.
I mean, seriously,
Let's
yeah.
go. Let's go. I mean, this is now. I guess it's okay to start calling this a dynasty. Now it's okay.
Oh, we're there
for everybody to recognize the greatness of this organization, the team, 15, and what he does. And just again, OMDB. I've been saying it. I keep saying it. He's just not going to let it happen. Over my dead body. Yep. There was so many great performances in that game. You can kind of nitpick it for, the offense couldn't do this or the defense. No, there wasn't a whole lot of. It wasn't like any sacks. But the bottom line is they made the big plays when they were there to be made. Yep. The third and 4 at the end of regulation when McDuffie comes on the blitz and knocks the pass down. The 3rd and 4 or 5 in the red zone in overtime when Chris Jones, again, was it a bust in the pass protection? He came loose, forces Purdy to kind of throw off schedule, forces the field goal. Just, I mean, it was there, and every time they needed a play, they made it. Never underestimate the heart of a champion. Let's go.
Yeah. I think with McDuffie, I think what people don't realize on that play, and I've watched it, I mean, it's one of the number one highlights of the Super Bowl, is L'Jarius Sneed was right there. That he would have picked that ball off. He was ready. He was ready to bounce right in front of the receiver. It wasn't Ayuk. Ayuk was covered by Edwards, and Edwards was coming up. But L'Jarius Sneed was in a terrific position. If McDuffie hadn't got to that ball, he probably would have, at a minimum, knocked it down. But I think he would have picked it off. Absolutely. And again, you talk about this defense. I mean, it's just, we've seen it. We're privy to, since week 1 against Detroit and all the way through the regular season, the postseason, they were the most consistent thing in this football team all year long, and they never let up. They played in an incredible energy, and I think what was the most impressive thing that I heard post game was Steve Spagnuolo on the Pat McAfee show said, this is the first time where I've got a bunch of defensive players who have that elevated IQ about football, and it was a lot easier to coach them. And I think that goes to what Brett Veach has done, what Andy's done, what Steve has done, to mold this defense. And they're the youngest. They're the youngest Super Bowl winner in NFL history. Yep. They're still going to be one of the youngest defense next year, probably. And if they keep it intact, they'll three-peat. I'm saying it right now. The Chiefs are going to three-peat. I don't think there's anything that's going to get in their way. And I'm not going to discount Patrick Mahomes ever again. Andy Reid's brilliance. I mean, he just made Kyle Shanahan look like he was a rookie coach. And, Shanahan fires Wilkes, his defensive coordinator, when up until Shanahan got involved in the defense in the second half, had called a really good game and really shut down Patrick Mahomes. So for me, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Kelce, Jones, McCole Hardman coming out of nowhere to make 2 big plays. But this Super Bowl is going to boil down to the fact that Steve Spagnuolo has become the best defensive coordinator in the league. He should go in the Hall of Fame. I agree with Kay Adams, who mentioned that on the show on Monday. You definitely have to look at this and say, this man understood exactly what to do, and he got his players to execute it. And that is the biggest reason, I think, that other than Mahomes, that they're back-to-back champions. And they're talking about bringing the band back together next year in the right fashion to do something that no other NFL team has done. And right now they're not the favorite. The 49ers are. And I'm telling you right now, the 49ers will not be in the NFC Championship game. They will not make it to the Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to. They're going to have a tough time winning the division next year. I'm telling you that right now.
I look at it this way. These guys, they still young. You know what I mean? They still young. They got. If I'm hoping that they keep Snead, but I know that's going to be a hard one to do.
It's going to be tough.
You know what I mean? Because that combination Snead and McDuffie is hard to beat. It's been proven that it's hard to beat, or unless you know me, it's going to be McDuffie and Joshua Williams. That some people hate on this show, but again, it's going to be a battle to see if this defense is going to get any worse, because it's not going to get any worse, because they're going to draft more people and they're going to continue to be young. So I can't wait to see what's uphill for this team. The sky's the limit, and they still young, and you still got Patrick Mahomes. It looks like you're still going to have Andy Reid for another 3 years.
Yep,
max.
4 years.
4 years. Anybody?
Well, we were discussing Najee Jones. If I said it right, Najee Jones was having a good camp.
Johnson.
My bad, Najee Johnson. So if Snead does go, you have a good replacement in him. You have an unproven replacement.
Yeah. He's more of a safety, right?
More of a safety, but still.
So you got Watson and Williams. Yeah. One of them.
Connor could slide the corners.
So basically, you can still mix and match if Snead does go. Yep. So you still gonna miss a beat, because again, they did it with rookies.
They go draft another corner.
On top of that, look at it like this: you get another legit running back with that offense behind Pac. You get a Swift. We talked about that before the show. You get a Swift. I like Tony Pollard coming from Dallas Cowboys. I like him. You get another legitimate season back behind them. They're going to repeat, because they like
Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry and Pacheco will be unstoppable.
Who's that? Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry and Pacheco will be unstoppable.
If you get a Derrick Henry behind there, man, that's going to be crazy by itself. It's just crazy by itself.
It would be pretty interesting. He wants a ring, you know, and if you want a ring and you're a guy who's been on a bunch of bad teams and never won anything in your entire life, why the heck aren't you texting Pat Mahomes saying, I want to come, I want to be part of the Chiefs next year?
Derrick Henry, Isaiah Pacheco. Think about that, guys.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting.
Who want to tackle that? Who want to come up and stop Isaiah Pacheco running angry at you? Then when he's done with you, here come Derrick Henry to finish you off.
You got the offensive line is playing incredible. See, the reason why I say that's going to be incredible, because the Chiefs got a great offensive line right now. Yeah. And what better way?
Everybody with me. They said bring in Henry. Bring in Henry.
All right, what do you think, Lou?
Wow. Okay, now I'm going to put on the Dre hat. Okay.
A
couple things. Derrick Henry, great player. I don't think there's any question about that. That would be a great luxury to have. Never really been the mold of an Andy Reid running back. Going back to Philadelphia even here with the Chiefs, typically it's more the DeAndre Swift type that's going to be able to catch balls out of the backfield. Again, not saying that Derrick Henry can't do it, but he's just used to an entirely different scheme. And again, not saying that he can't do it, but for that money, his age, everything else, it's probably not going to happen. It would be great to see, and maybe on Madden you guys can make it happen. But I don't know we're going to see it on the Chiefs field. But yeah, we talked about some other running backs as well. But I think Swift, I don't know. I mean, you can revisionist history. you had Jonathan Taylor and DeAndre Swift sitting there when they took Clyde. And I hate to keep bringing this back up, but they had the opportunity to get, a guy like a LaShawn McCoy or Brian Westbrook. That's the guy that makes this offense go. So, yeah, I think Swift would be good. I mentioned Antonio Gibson, still pretty young from the Commanders, was a great, receiver, running back at University of Memphis. So there's plenty of guys out there. And again, it's all going to come down to money. And that position will be, certainly a small contract. I don't know that you're going to get a big name to do that. We'll see. But yeah, it'd be great to, Madden, go ahead, put him on there. But this Chiefs team, I don't think you're going to see Derrick Henry.
Well, I think honestly, guys, remember they just need a solid season back. Honestly, they can help out pocket. Like that's all they need for real.
Yeah, but the problem is they need to find. Okay, I love Isaiah Pacheco. I do. I think his lack of side to side vision is a problem. Right. There were plenty of times where he could have just cut back instead of ramming through the hole.
Being patient.
That wasn't there. He didn't show enough patience.
Right.
I mean, there were so many open spaces. If he had just slid a couple,
Eric B. Henry come back.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, he's not coming back. I can tell you that right now. But a couple of yards to the left or a couple of yards to the right, with his speed, go back to the big play he made against the Jets. For the 56-yard touchdown or 48-yard touchdown. What did he do? He started up center. He moved to the left. He found the gap, and he was gone. And he doesn't do that enough. And I don't know if it's a lack of confidence. He didn't have a good – let's be honest with you. He didn't play well in the Super Bowl. I mean, he had a fumble. He kept trying to smash the line, and he couldn't get there, and he just wasn't patient. But you get DeAndre Swift on this football team, and Andy can use him like he used Jamal Charles, and then you got Pacheco to be the Bash brother. I mean, that's a lethal combination. It's going to be very difficult to defend that. And then you got to defend Kelce.
Yeah, right.
You got to develop Rice. Maybe a T. Higgins. Somebody like that. It really opens up the offense to where, okay, there's another layer there. And if Patrick Mahomes becomes more mobile and starts running the kind of option plays he did on Sunday, I don't think he'll do it a lot. But, man, he was awful timely in it. Yeah. But to me, there's three offensive needs. One, running back, not necessarily any order, wide receiver, and then they got to decide on the tackle. So this is what I'm going to throw out a scenario here. This is unscripted. This is just my thoughts. I firmly believe Jason Kelce is gonna retire from the NFL unless he can play 1 year with his brother in Kansas City. So hear me out.
Can he play left tackle? I don't think he's
right. No. Hold on. Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
So they've got Taylor at the right tackle. They've got Smith at left guard. They put Kelce at center. They move Humphrey to left guard, and they move
Tooney to left
tackle. For me, and re-sign Allegretti. Now, Allegretti's not going to be ready until probably September after he has surgery. And kudos to him, man. That's just to have a torn UCL and to go out there and play the game he had. But I'm not saying this is going to happen. I think that's the only way he plays. 1 more year is if it's in Kansas City. He almost became a Chief prior to the draft when they got Creed Humphrey. In fact, the Chiefs thought they had him, and then he couldn't leave. He couldn't leave Philadelphia. But to me,
beat up if that happened.
Yeah. The offensive line.
They're gonna be too small up front. You're gonna be too short right here.
I'm just saying, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Or could it be a fullback? Or could he come in as a fullback?
So we're staying with this. We're staying with this Madden mode. We're building a Madden team.
I'm building a Madden offensive line, absolutely. And
you give me ideas now. You give me ideas.
I'm bringing back Willie Rofe.
Don't do that.
Oh God! Can you imagine Willie Rofe on this team? Oh,
I'm bringing back Will Shields. Come on now.
Hey, listen. I'm just telling you. I think it would be great. I would love it. I think the Kelce brothers in the same team, would just be electric. He's
Yeah,
already
then they
beloved in
then
Kansas
they
City. He's
could-
already
they
been
could
adopted.
They could smash up against each other on the sideline
Oh my God!
instead of
Coach Reed.
hitting Coach Reed.
They did. So Sinclair says this. I like Humphreys, but those low snaps were stressing me out. Jason Kelce for a year would be great.
Yeah, maybe they got to check Creed's UCL because he was grounding a lot of snaps.
Yeah, I think there's something wrong with that
game too.
Yeah. I think there's something wrong with his arm or his shoulder. That has been an issue for the last maybe 8 games, and it's cost the Chiefs some opportunities. And I think that's something that I think that's why they would consider something like this. I think that way they can put him at guard. Now he played guard in a couple of games this year, kind of filling in when they had to move some people around, and especially I think in the Chargers game. So I think they could do it. For me, for Thuney, they're already paying him left tackle money. They're going to restructure his contract, I'm told. He wants to retire at Chiefs, so he'll play 2 or 3 more years. But he had the best season of his NFL career this year, up until the injury. He was the best guard in the National Football League. And I don't care who voted better or thought differently. But they're going to have to fix that offensive line a little bit, tweak it. I think Donovan Smith played as well as he can at his age. I don't think he'll be back. So Brett Veach has got his work cut out for him.
Yeah, I think left tackle, how much I'm sure you were just about to say, how much they like Wanye Morris and, his development. You don't know. So
I don't, from what I'm hearing,
left tackle,
they're not convinced he can be a starting left tackle.
Yeah.
Yet.
So left tackle is certainly a consideration in the draft, depending on how it falls.
Yeah. If you're three-peating, he's not your left tackle.
Right.
Okay. So real quick. So Frank says this. Frank says, Tony is a guard that plays left tackle in a pinch, not a long-term idea.
Right. He's done it in the past, and he's done it well. But I guess that's the neat thing about this offensive line and the way they're trained. I mean, typically, you'll hear Coach Reed say, you'll hear Andy Heck say it, is that we're putting the best 5 out there. So they're all like kind of cross-trained. They can play all along the line of scrimmage. Now, not everybody's going to be able to play center, but you'd have Allegretti can play center. Right.
Yeah.
Caliendo, I think, can play center. He doesn't get, he hasn't got that much run, but Trey Smith can move around.
Yeah.
I don't know. Juwan Taylor, I don't know. Did they consider moving him to left tackle?
It's possible. And maybe he played better at left tackle.
They certainly paid him like a left tackle. So again, it just depends on again, the best 5 and however they lay him out. I'll trust that to Andy Heck and those guys.
Real quick, Taylor actually played pretty. I mean, Bosa was a beast, but Taylor actually held up pretty well.
Great. That's the best I've seen Bosa play in a long time.
Yeah, and if you talk to their defensive lineman, held is the operative word.
Bosa didn't play well. Chase Young was out there. I said, Jesus Christ. Chase Young was if we can get Chase Young next year.
Chase Young made one play, Hense. Come on.
Right. True. Look, Bosa put so much pressure. Bosa now, I stated this real quick. I said if Taylor can hold him against Bosa. Now Bosa was a beast because he was getting pressure, but he didn't really give up a sack to Bosa. But
they really took advantage. They really took advantage of that on the 4th and 1 play,
Yes,
right?
they did.
Because he crashed so hard that all of a sudden Patrick had nothing but green grass in front of him. If one of those defenders comes to him, he's got Kelce out in the flat. You got Rasheed out in the middle. Yeah. That play was just perfect, right? Yeah. And it came down to Bosa being so aggressive, and they used it against him.
And he never varied his run. I mean, he crashed the middle of the field and run back on every play. Andy Reid set him up. They set him up throughout the game. That's why they kind of kept running some of those plays. Bosa never veered, and even on the play to Travis Kelce at the last drive, for the first down and make it 1st and goal from the 4, he vacated the area because he thought for sure they were gonna do like a pitch play or something like that,
right?
And again, it's just smart offense. Kudos to them, but yeah, those are the 3 areas that they're going to have to fix. Because I think we got some good news from the parade Sunday, and that came from Mr. Chris Jones, who basically told everybody, I ain't going, you may want to get rid of me.
No,
but no, let me finish. I ain't going anywhere. And his agent, one of the Cats bozos, put on there and said something along the lines of like, well, we'll see. Trust me, he and Brett Veach have already worked out numbers. I think it's going to be a 2-year deal. It's going to be a 3-year deal with a 3rd year back end. It won't be top dollar, but it'll be enough for Chris to be a 75% player next year, meaning 70 to 75% of the snaps. But he's coming back. There's no question in my mind he's coming back.
If he signs a contract in the same state of mind and body that he was on stage, is it valid?
It's valid. Listen, you don't say
he was so out of his mind at that point.
There is no way he's going to say those things in that forum if he and Brett Veach had not already spoke. Because remember, the Katz brothers did not negotiate the contract. It was a 2-hour conversation between Brett Veach and Chris Jones in Veach's office, and he said basically at the end of the day, "Listen, I made a mistake. I just don't want to lose any money this year." They built the incentives in. He got $3.5 to $3.9 million in incentives, so he got all his fine money back. Everything worked out, and he's not stupid. He's got a lot of money. If he has a chance to become a three-peat Super Bowl champion, it locks him in as a Hall of Famer. It locks him in as in NFL mortality, and everybody's going to look back and say he was one of the driving forces that got the Chiefs to repeat. Look at the work he did last year.
On the team. He's Shaq on the team.
He is Shaq on the team. So he's coming back.
How do you fire your agent without actually saying you're fired? Is you negotiate the contract on your own. So I don't know that the Katz brothers are really involved
I don't think the Katz brothers are going to be involved. He'll either become his own agent or he'll hire somebody else. But or hire a lawyer to look over the contract. But I would be shocked.
I didn't need 10% of it.
I don't know if they get that much.
You said 10% of it.
They'll sit there.
3%.
Yeah, I'll do it for 2%.
Yeah.
But
they'll save the money.
If you think about it, guys, everybody said it's just the biggest need though. But what free agent what receiver that you will bring back and what receiver you're getting rid of? Everybody, MVS stepped up, Nicole Hardman stepped up, but in my opinion, I can't forget what MVS did all season.
Doesn't matter.
But I will bring back Nicole Hardman if it was my opinion. Bring him in on a MVS deal. He already knows the offense. You drafted him, then you went to go trade for him.
Yeah, I'm not paying him 8 or 9 or 10.
No, he'll get maybe $3 million a year with some incentive. He'll
the
probably
thing
get
is Miko consistent, guys?
He doesn't have to be
a consistent option.
He doesn't have to be. He's just a gadget guy now, and they'll use him. They'll use him the same way they did in the Super Bowl. They threw the ball to him a lot deep, in the postseason. I mean, they took some shots with him, and that catch and route that he had and the throw. My goodness.
Get Hollywood Brown out there. Get
Hollywood Brown would be a guy, but Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Yeah, Scantling's 11.5 base salary. It's a $14 million cap number with a signing bonus. So if he's going to stay, they would have to rework that. If they let him go, they're going to save $12 million. So, I think it's 50-50 if he's willing to play ball. But, that's just going to give the Chiefs more cap space. But, I think Kadarius Toney, from what I'm told, he's gone. He's not coming back. They're not giving him any more chances.
Yeah, he's done.
I think they'll give Sky Moore one more year to prove that he can do something. They were very impressed with his work ethic after the injury and getting back to being available for the Super Bowl, even though I don't think he had any snaps.
Well, you dig deep down in there. Do you get rid of Toney or you trade him? Which one are you gonna do?
You cut him outright. You make him a post.
I don't know that you're really going to get
Nobody's
anything
want
for him at this point. The Giants were lucky to get what they did from the Chiefs.
Yeah,
and he didn't really, outside of his performance in the playoffs last year, there's got to be something going on behind the scenes because you don't make a guy that's that explosive a healthy scratch without him having offended somebody in the locker room or just being
Right.
a cancer
True,
or something
true.
going on there. Now, again,
True.
I don't know this. It's just, but you just kind of connect the dots. I mean, there's no reason for him to be a healthy scratch when, you're looking for explosive players. If he's sitting there, it's got to be something more than that. So I don't think any team is going to pony up like even a 6th or 7th rounder at this point to say, okay, we'll take him off your hands when they know he's probably going to get cut.
Yeah,
so that's a hard one. It's a good question, Hense, but I don't know that anybody's going to be able to going to think about ponying anything up for him.
All right, real quick, I got 3 comments I'm about to read off real quick. So Frank says it hurts to say, but I don't see the long-term play for Snead. CJ will sign a team-friendly deal, I'm sure. And he stated again, maybe tag Snead, maybe tag is a last option, right? So Anita says this. She says they better bring back Miko. They better bring Miko back. Otherwise, we would not have the Super Bowl. I mean, anybody can catch that play. Anybody can catch that pass.
Not everybody. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you put
being wide open.
Scott Moore can.
Scott Moore can. I seen you wide open.
More can.
So
sir,
sir, I beat you 1-on-1, sir. So it don't matter.
On that play, he did his best work with the pre-snap, right? I mean, it was more selling the hard motion, because once you're out there, it's like you're playing in the backyard. I mean, it's just like, hey, watch it in. I'm in the end zone. Don't have to go anywhere. I'm good. So I hear what you're saying, Anita. I just don't know that that's enough for them to say, okay, we're going to pay him now.
That's one of the bow tie sports faithful there. So we want to grab it. Yeah.
Just
so
Nita.
So
is it Anita? Is it Anita or just Nita?
Anita.
But it's Anita, just Nita.
He's the Anita, just Anita.
She's gonna have to explain that.
She has to clarify.
Yeah, you have to clarify that name.
Anita, what's going on there? Pick a side.
But again, we want to thank everybody for joining in for this. What we were talking about, me and Dre on Saturday shows. This is Chiefs Blitz that we do on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays with Nick and Lou. So you'll be seeing more of them on our pages and everywhere else too. And Lou is the guy that makes all the funny jokes, and Nick is the guy that keeps the stare back straight.
You guys just laugh. You just laugh out of pity, man. I'm just
hey, man. Take the laughter where you can get it.
Listen.
I'm just throwing out the dad jokes as best I can.
So people call me Anita. Some call me Nita. So she said it doesn't really matter. Just call me Ida.
All right,
as long as there's an Ida behind it, we straight. As long as it's Ida.
I vote for Nita. Everybody else say Nita.
Nita's good. Let's go
Nita, or I say Anita Baker.
I call her cousin because that's my cousin.
Oh, that's why he was like one of my fellow people. He said, "Hey, we call Anita over here. We call
that's
Nita.
inside baseball now."
But again, I agree with her. I will bring back Nicole Hartman because you drafted him
over Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood.
No, you keep him
hard.
as a gadget guy.
I'll bring both. Bring both. You know what I mean? But again, this team ain't gonna do nothing but get better. So everybody around the NFL, you just gotta watch out.
I agree.
You can hate the Chiefs. You can hate everything. You can say bad stuff. Even you know what I mean. I've seen some stuff that was unnecessary that was said. I'm not gonna say on the show, but you know what I mean. Hey, you still can say stuff about the team, the city, or whatever. We still gonna stand strong, and we still gonna come back fighting harder than ever.
Yep.
So the Chiefs are gonna come back.
It's just the air. It's the Mahomes air.
The Chiefs
but every team improves. Every team gets healthy. Again,
they all do, and they still get beat by Mahomes.
I've got Dre's hat on now, so I think the reason the Chiefs aren't the favorite to win the Super Bowl is because just the path to get there is a lot tougher than it would be for San Francisco getting back. Because you got to believe that the Bengals are going to be healthy and they're going to be better. You got to believe that, say what you will, but Cleveland brings back the defense. Deshaun Watson, they're going to be better. I got to believe Jim Harbaugh Now with Herbert, with the
That's
Chargers,
Yeah.
they're gonna
That
gonna
defensive
they're
minded
gonna
guy. Yeah.
they're gonna be better. Now, am I
Yeah.
saying they're gonna overtake the Chiefs? No, but they are going to be
Okay.
better.
Make sure you
So,
clarify that.
Denver will be better, after the first year with Coach Payton, and it depends on what they do with their quarterback situation. If they bring somebody in, if they draft somebody,
Right.
if they draft somebody, then they're probably going to take a step back, right?
Yeah.
But you've got all these teams, and who knows what you're going to get out of the Jets? Probably not a whole lot, but it's going to be a story if Rodgers is healthy, right?
I forgot one. It's only one team I think that's going to give some Chiefs some trouble. It's two, maybe two. It's going to be the Chargers and the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans is going to get better.
Yeah,
they came out, they surprised everybody, and they still going to give. That boy did that. He did that with not a lot of good wide receivers. He did.
Yeah.
Imagine when they draft wide receivers. Imagine when Tank Dell get better. Imagine when they build a better team. The Houston Texans. Hey.
So
you pick the
Houston
Texans over the Bengals.
I fear Houston over the Bengals. No question. Here's why.
What?
Joe Burrow has been injured 2 of the last 4 years. Season
always hurt.
Orlando Brown is his left tackle. They lost their offensive coordinator.
That's the answer right there.
That's it. The Chase and Higgins thing is not going to continue to work. There's no way they can keep both those guys on the same team. It's impossible. Chase wants to get paid now. He doesn't want to wait until 2025. He wants to get paid now. Higgins is an unrestricted free agent. The bottom line is the Bengals aren't going to spend the money the Chiefs are going to spend. Houston, to me, as much progress as they made this year, remarkable progress. I mean, CJ Stroud will be, I think he and Richardson will be the best two quarterbacks out of this draft.
He nuts, drinking coffee.
He hasn't even scratched the surface yet.
Stop my background, sir.
If they get another receiver and they continue to build on the defense, they have the right coach. That's the team to fear to me. It ain't going to be Jacksonville. Denver, give me a break. I mean, this is not going to happen. They're going to have a young quarterback. They're not going to get a veteran.
But they will be
the Chargers.
They'll be better.
Here's the thing with Harbaugh, and I've watched his career my entire life, and I'm familiar with people close to him. And his first season, wherever he goes, is about one thing: changing the culture to avoid the peaks and the valleys in the future. Mm-hmm. So they may win some games and they may beat the Chiefs once this year, but they're not going to run for the AFC West title. They're not going to run for a long playoff run. It's just going to take him time to change that culture. That culture with the Chargers is horrible. Right. They've had bad coaching.
But again, the point is I'm just speaking to Hense when he's saying the Chiefs are going to get better. Well, I think, a lot of these teams are going to get better. Now, are they going to be able to challenge? How quickly will they be able to challenge? That remains to be seen. We just don't know.
But we're just talking about three-peat here. Right. We're just talking about the opportunity to three-peat. This is the best year in the AFC to do it. The Bills are going to have to blow stuff up. The Steelers are going to end up with Russell Wilson, from what I keep hearing. You've got all these teams. Tua is never going to lead you to a Super Bowl. Right. The Chiefs have a young team, a young core, money. They have the drive to create history in this moment. Now, in 2025, I think the Chargers could win the AFC West. No question about it. But for the purpose of 2024 and the chance to three-peat, all of these teams that are chasing the Chiefs have massive question marks, and they have to make massive decisions. The Chargers are $120 million over the cap.
Right.
I mean,
but you'd agree the AFC is a much tougher road than the
absolutely.
So I guess that's the point in terms of
and the Ravens have 22 free agents. Yeah, there's not a team ready to unseat the Chiefs for 2024. Now, 2025. The Bills will be better. The Jets, who knows? The Dolphins, who knows? The Ravens, after they settle on what their roster is going to look like, because again, they have 22 pending free agents. They're not signing them all, and they went all in this year, and they scored 10 points against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game at home. I mean, you know, and the Bengals
Put that in your
probably
coffee mug, Drake.
yeah.
What kind of mind trick? I mean, maybe off topic, but what kind of mind trick is Spags playing with these teams to get them to not run the ball? Because it was like the same conversation that was going on after the Ravens game happened with San Francisco in the third quarter. That all of a sudden they decide we have to pass.
Look at the film.
Baltimore never even
Drake,
tried.
They filled the gaps.
Drake, tell them why. Drake, tell them why they was not running the ball. Who was causing all the havoc in the backfield? Why they wanted to run the ball? Number 60.
You talking about 4? You talking about number 69? Talk Chanel.
Big Mike Pennell.
Big Pennell.
You talking about in the San Francisco game, or you talking about in the Baltimore game?
Both.
I'm gonna say this. Now it still bothers me that I think Lamar wanted to be like Mahomes. He wanted to come out there and throw the ball, which was stupid. Now coming to the Super Bowl, it was like CMC actually ran the ball very well. I mean, against that tough defense. So the thing is, you don't want to overuse your guys so much. Remember, San Francisco got a good offense in general, so they were spreading the ball around. So they really didn't have to run the ball that much because they got enough players in that offense to make plays, right? But at the end of the day, it was just they were just like, I don't know. Chiefs called better calls on defense. That's all it was, just better calls.
I'm telling you, Spags has got some sort of mind tricks happening there.
But
Jedi
T never shut down Debo, and that was the X factor.
Right, and that's why I thought, and that would have been one of the reasons too, is where in the past you've seen Debo coming out, lining up in the backfield, or they would switch roles with McCaffrey, put him at wide receiver, and put Debo in the backfield, and try some stuff like that, and they never did. So. Anyway, I just thought it was just we had the same conversation after the Baltimore game as, you know, after San Francisco. For some reason, these great running teams decided not to run the ball. So it was weird.
Because they couldn't. That's what no one's talking about. They couldn't. The zone blitz schemes and the moving the linebackers in the corners, you know, you had all of their linebackers available. You know, Tranquil was moving to different positions. And in the Ravens game, the same thing. They were filling the gap. I mean, on the one big running play they had with Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, Nick Bolton was like yanked almost to the ground to create that open space on 4th and 1. So they were filling the gaps. They were doing the right things, and they do run blitzes. And, you know, they didn't think that they could be stopped. I mean, Trent Williams did not have a very good game.
I'm about to highlight that real quick because Pennell on the one play he manhandled Trent Williams. I've never seen Trent Williams get manhandled. I've never seen Trent Williams get manhandled. I said,
there's a question now. You've got this situational player that comes in late off the practice squad. He did the same thing last year. What do you do with Mike Pennell?
You sign him, give him a 1-year deal. He is, I think, protected. They could put him on a futures deal because he was on the practice squad. So you sign him for a year, you bring him to camp, you know, he's your Danny Shelton type, and you let him play, you know, 30, 35, 40 snaps a game. Right. He's a big run defender. You find a young defensive tackle in the draft. You find a very young one. Let him groom him. Let him work with him. Keep moving Chris Jones around from inside to outside. But, yeah, you got to have glue guys. We talked about Mike Edwards and Jude Tranquil. Right. You know, they're glue guys. Nick Allegretti's a glue guy. Just guys that you can plug in and play that fit the scheme, understand it, know what to do, have the experience, and that's what you need. You let your superstars make your plays, but you let your glue guys do the grunt work.
Like Steve Kerr and Paxton.
Yeah, and the Chiefs had so many grunt players this year, to their credit, defensively.
But couldn't we have said the same thing about Mike Pennell last year? It's almost like he
didn't play much last year. It was,
but he played in the playoffs.
Yeah, the Super Bowl 54 team he was on.
Speaking of,
he made a lot. He made a lot more plays defensively. All right, go ahead.
Speaking of the glue guys, man, let's get right to the glue guy of the show that's keeping this show together, and that is Dave Purdy. Go ahead.
Let's talk about my good friend Dave Purdy. He is your mortgage expert. He is the guy that will make sure he finds the right mortgage for you and your family, regardless if you're 1099, W-2, whether you're looking to consolidate debt, whether you have a current mortgage, but you've got a bunch of 25, 30% interest rate credit cards, make sure you find someone that you can trust. And Dave Purdy's that man. You can reach Dave at 816-405-5831. He is working hand in hand with me to get my loan finished with Hense as well, to make sure that we have the best solution, as I mentioned, for the family. Again, interest rates are coming down. Housing prices are stabilizing, but they're starting to go up. It's springtime. It's a good time to look for a house. We got you covered on the real estate side with Eric. And if you need a good lender, somebody you can trust, somebody's going to fight to get you the best rate and look at every possible option, give Dave Purdy a call at 816-405-5831. We love Dave because he is Purdy good.
Brock Purdy.
Let's
So,
go, Dave.
I'm gonna say this though. Brock
You must put
Purdy
the whole show
did-
didn't talk about Brock Purdy.
We did, right?
Impressed.
We know what Brock Purdy actually lived up to expectations. He actually didn't play a bad game at all. He didn't play a bad game.
So I want to ask.
Because the one play, real quick though, the one play with Debo. If it wasn't for Chris Jones making that play, that pressure play, Debo scores.
He
So
still
it was
overthrew him.
Chris Jones.
He still overthrew him. It
Well,
wasn't
come
even
on now,
close.
come on now, boy.
No,
CJ made a
no,
good play.
no. What do you
CJ
mean,
made
no
a good play.
difference?
Lou, do you
Okay,
agree, Lou?
here we
CJ
go.
made a
Well,
good play.
don't ask Nick about any quarterbacks except for Patrick Mahomes.
No.
I think you've been hanging around with Hense
Oh,
way too. You've been hanging around with Hense
ball
way
was
too long.
not- That ball was
Everybody,
not completed.
everybody else sucks.
I'm not saying that. No.
Hey, that's the hey,
No.
that's good. That's true.
I'm not
Everybody
saying he
else
sucks. No. Don't
Everybody else sucks.
Don't misquote me. I think he proved a lot.
He
I
can throw
think he
5,000 yards, 53. He sucks.
I think he proved his point. But on that play in
Yeah.
particular, I've watched it 25 times at least. Even in a clean pocket, the trajectory of the ball before he was hit is over his head. There just wasn't enough room for him to complete that pass.
You said Lamar Jackson. You said Eric. You said
I was right about Jackson.
Man, I mean, you know what,
He's
Nick? I would say this. That secondary was unbelievable.
MVP of the league, and he's still horrible.
He's still horrible. He ain't no Mahomes. He ain't no damn
I don't give a
Mahomes,
crap
but
about
he's
stats.
the MVP guy. He's great.
All right.
I care
Wait a
about
second.
rings,
I
man.
have to
That's
take
Hense there.
I got to take on Dre's role here real quick. I don't know Marilee, but I think she's now reached mom status. I never talk smack or speculate about the coming season until training camp. Won't know what players we're going to get or keep until that.
A realist.
Well, Marilee,
That's real though.
Marilee,
real.
you've just described what we do on this show every week. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
if we
Right.
listen to you, we could forget the show. All right? That's why we're here.
That's right.
Because we don't know what they're gonna bring to the table next
No.
year. We don't know.
Well, that's why we're here. We're here to talk about
Right,
some of the
right.
possibilities, probabilities. Sure.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
now everybody want to know. It's gonna be Chiefs. You got anything for Chiefs food, or because I know we missed.
I
it.
do not. No, Chief Who is on a bye this
Oh,
week.
bummer.
We'll be back next
No
week,
Chiefs
next
Who
Wednesday. So be sure to tune in on Wednesday's show.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
So before we close out, guys, what you think the Chiefs should do with the 32 pick? We picking last in the draft once again. What's your predictions?
I think we go. Honestly, on a humbug, I think we go receiver or running back. Receiver, or running back.
I'm not feeling a running back until like maybe the mid to late rounds. I think Pacheco has kind of told Brett Veach all he needs to know is that they can get a good one late, somebody that fits. So if they don't get one of these guys we've been talking about in free agency, you'll maybe see like a 5th, 6th, or 7th round pick. In the first round, I mean, it's hard to pinpoint, a position not knowing what falls in front of you. But, in a perfect world, if everything fell perfectly and somebody, one of their top receivers is there, absolutely. I don't, Roman Wilson from Michigan, guy like that may not be a first round.
That's your guy. I see Roman Michigan. I think that's your guy.
But at 32 for the Chiefs, that might be a consideration. Maybe not any other team, but they might go in that direction. But
just
we'll get into that as we go on. But I would say if it falls right for them, wide receiver at that point.
Okay.
Nick,
All right, Joey, what do you think? Or what do you think, Hence?
I was waiting on your answer first.
He
No,
wants
you
the
go.
last
I'm
word.
going- I'm
Oh,
going
flip
I'm
a
going
coin,
last.
flip a coin,
word.
overtime rules. Hey, we want
He's
overtime
bet-
rules.
Okay, my
He's
answer
batting
is
cleanup on this one.
my answer has been all year. You know what I mean? If you picking last, I'm going knocking front door. I'm flying to Atlanta. I'm knocking on the door and say, hey, I got this 32 pick. What you gonna do with Cal Pitts? What you gonna do with him? Give me, hey, I'm giving you this 32 pick, and what you gonna give me? Give me Cal Pitts. I'm taking Cal Pitts. I'm trading it. I'm going to find a way to get Cal Pitts and put him on the Kansas City Chiefs and be used to be right up under Travis Kelce, because Travis Kelce probably got another year left in him. Maybe
He's gonna
This
teach him
year
a
he
whole
can
lot.
learn it.
Yeah.
I think
Teach him a whole lot.
Noah Gray.
Pitts.
Noah Gray.
I think you're on the. I
Noah
think
Gray.
I think you're on the right path. However,
Yeah.
the Chiefs will trade their 2025 first round pick and a 2024 second round pick along with their first to move up in the top 10 to draft tight end Brock Bowers.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Nick. I like that, Nick. I like that. I can't say nothing about that. That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's a pretty bold move.
Right now,
for
he's
a tight end,
pretty
but
good
he's
move.
sliding.
That's a pretty good move.
He's sliding. Right now, he's in that 12 to 15 range. So
wait
maybe
till
they don't have
wait
to
till
give
they
up
go
as
to the
much.
combine and he runs like a 4.4, does
And
like
we will be
25
there.
bench
I will
presses
be
and
there.
everything.
I think you get Brock Bowers at all costs. If not
Brock
at 32, if they
Bowers.
don't make a trade, they're going to take it. They're going to take a stud defensive tackle. They need to upgrade the middle of that defense.
I think your guy Jim Harbaugh grabs Bowers and runs.
Hey,
I don't
you
think
know
we'll
what?
take them that
You
high.
know
They
what?
need a
You know
young
what?
wide receiver because they may be losing both their receivers.
Hey,
We'll
Frank
see.
says this. Frank said this. I would do anything to land Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
he's a
said
great
I would
player.
sell my
He's-
soul to get Brock Bowers.
He's the next
He's-
Tony
You know what?
Gonzalez.
He's a
No
unicorn. Yeah, for sure.
He said next
Whatever
time
it takes, you get Brock Bowers. If you have to sell your soul for a couple of drafts, again, remember, the goal of 2024 is to do one thing: three-peat. That's it. They don't give a crap about 2025. They got
Yeah.
virtually nobody under contract in 2025.
Brett Veach does. So
You know,
luckily he's taking care of that.
Because this defense is so young. This defense is going to be together for at least 2 more years. If they sign Snead, you got 24, 25. You got plenty of time to rebuild, extend some guys. They're going to have a lot of cap space. The cap number is going to go up. You get Bowers, and you've got your Travis Kelce replacement. You've got an incredible weapon. You sign Swift as a free agent running back, and you solve your left tackle problem. Game over.
It's a wrap.
Hey, Brock Bowers to me was the home run. Hey, hence I like Pitts, but Brock Bowers is the more complete tight
Gonna
end.
be Pitts. I got my answer.
I like that.
Call me
I
what?
like that.
If they
I like
can't,
that.
no. I'm all good with Pitts. I'm all good with Pitts.
To the Chiefs.
I'm all good with Pitts too. But
No,
Bowers,
I
is the
think
guy.
Brock Bowers. Hopefully, we do make that move, but Brock Bowers is high on the rankings. I think Brock Bowers.
I will be in Indianapolis. I have my breaking news. I will be in Indianapolis for the NFL.
All right, sounds good.
Combine. I will
So
be
when
there.
your camera like falls off your shoulder because he's running so fast by you, you'll know what I'm talking about.
My thing is, I would like to have Brandon Rice if he falls at 32.
You want Brandon
No,
Rice?
you-
You want Brandon
You'll be
Rice?
able- I think they would be able that might be the Veach special second round pick. I don't know that I don't think Brendan Rice
Can you imagine Can you imagine Jerry Rice at Chiefs games?
unless
Oh, that would be kind of that.
To watch
Yeah,
his son play.
there haven't been many
And then
celebrities lately.
They meet
at
up in the
Chiefs
Super
games.
Bowl again. Now, what team? Who Jerry Rice go for? Do you go for the Niners?
Oh
or do you
yeah,
go
that
for
would
his
be
son?
tough.
Oh,
Especially
come
if
on.
his
he's going
kid's a high
he's going
producer.
for his kid. But my point is, I
Yeah.
think hence if Veach sticks to kind of his plan and the second round receiver like Rice and Sky and McCole, they might have to move up a little bit in the second. I don't know. I think maybe there's so many good receivers. Second round pick, I think would be
Now,
Chef's kiss.
What I can do is this. I hope the Chiefs don't do this, but they been doing every time they win the Super Bowl. It's like I don't care about they just like I don't care pick when they pick 32.
I don't care.
Got Clyde Everson-Laird, no against, no get against him or nothing else or nobody.
But
they
Clyde
do that.
was okay though. Clyde was okay though.
Yeah, but they've learned their lesson. Listen,
Jonathan Taylor was there. Swift was there. All these. If you're going,
that's Joe Burrow's fault that Clyde Edwards' hair looks so damn good in the Sugar Bowl, in the national championship game. Yeah, so we owe Burrow for that. He can go back. Maybe Clyde Edwards-Helaire goes to Cincinnati. They're going to need a replacement for their running back.
That's going to be
I can see that'd be interesting. But I think that the Chiefs have learned their lessons. I don't have a problem with the Felix pick, guys. He was hurt. He didn't do much off-season stuff. He did
okay in the Super Bowl. He made a big play.
And I think with a good off-season with Joe Cullen, working with Spags. I think he'll work with Tamba Lee along with George Karlaftis.
Make that happen, Hense.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
He said make the call.
He was always going to be a 2024 player, always.
So before we close, I'll give a shout out to our sponsors, Nick.
All right, we'll do this one more time. First, Dave Purdy with Supreme. Give him a call at 816-405-5831. Dave is your expert when it comes to finding the right mortgage solution for you and your family, whether you're buying a house, whether you want to refinance, whether you're W-2 or 1099. It makes no difference. He has the expertise and the decades of experience to make sure that he gets the right loan for you. So give him a call, even if it's just for an evaluation, to kind of see where you are in regards to your debt, in regards to your current mortgage, and see if there might be a better solution to save you money. Give him a call at 816-405-5831. We love Dave because he is
pretty good.
Another guy who is very good is Mr. Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Group. He is your personal real estate advisor. He is my real estate advisor. He is Hense real estate advisor. And he has taken my hand and allowed the process to go through very smoothly. We did find a house. We put an offer down. We are currently negotiating the fixes that we want. And he is making sure that every I is dotted, every T is crossed, and always making sure that myself and Mrs. Chief Blitz and Hense and Mrs. Hense are all comfortable with the process and everything goes smooth from the time of finding your house, signing the paperwork, getting your keys, and moving in. Eric, I want to thank you personally. You have been a terrific friend, but you've gotten this process well off for me and in good position. It's the first time my wife has bought a house, so it's a little different experience. We have bugged you to death, and we appreciate you answering every phone call. And if you're looking for a realtor that's going to just do what I said, give Eric a call at 816-729-3785.
Proud sponsor, Chief Who?
That's right.
Hello. So here we go, man. I'm gonna give a shout out to Vincent Frank. I'm gonna give a shout out to Anita Baker. All right. Let me see who we got here. I'm gonna give a shout out to St. Clair, Trehan, man. Hey, y'all been so consistent on the show. We love it. Shout out to Anita Baker. I call her Anita Baker. But welcome to the Chiefs Blitz again. Share our stuff, guys. We will give you so much love, guys. And also, this is a show of love and educational purposes only. I mean, we welcome anybody onto the show, right? But remember, your comments has to be respectful.
Yeah, gotta be respectful.
Comments, all right. If y'all want to say Joe Burrow is better than Mahomes, I don't care. I don't care because it's within the kingdom. Nah, but honestly though, guys, love the comments, guys. Keep it coming.
Give Marilee her props. The mom thing was just a joke. But it was. It was nicely put. So no disrespect to Marilee, we love her.
And once again, shout out to everybody that supporters. Continue to share, and also, again, our condolences to the families at the parade and everybody that witnessed this and everything else.
I do want to say one more thing. I want to give a shout out to Taylor Swift for the $100,000 donation she made today for the family of Lisa Lopez Galvin She was a KC area DJ that was killed. She was a wonderful human being, a wonderful person. They've raised, I think, over $250,000 so far to make sure that her children are able to get through this portion of their life and get to college. And a lot's been said about Taylor Swift. Some great, some not so great, but she's a Kansas Cityan now, as far as she's part of the Chiefs Kingdom. She's also put a lot of money into the local harvesters and other area and other donations around the city that aren't as public. But props to her for, after her concert last night of 90,000 people in attendance, 90,000 in Australia, she wakes up this morning and makes that donation. So I don't want to hear any more negative crap about Taylor Swift. She's part of us, and I will defend her as as someone within the Chiefs Kingdom. I'm not just saying that to blow smoke here. I think when somebody puts their money behind their mouth and their actions and generally cares about people, as she has, she and Travis are in love. Godspeed to both of them. Hope they make a lot of babies together. They have a great life together.
Hey.
I just think, listen, I think it's a great thing, and I'm glad she's part of the Chiefs Nation, and that's all I'm going to say on that.
Absolutely. Well said, Nick.
Go Chiefs. We'll be
Let's
back
go.
Monday. We'll be back Monday. We'll dive into the NFL free agency, kind of get you prepared. Now, the NFL Combine is coming up, and that is the place where all of the conversations for free agency begins when they have these. Well, what do you think about your client, that certain wide receiver, number 85? What would it take maybe to, get him under contract without saying his name? It's a legal tampering period. And there's nothing like it. The hotel lobby, the main hotel lobby at the NFL Combine is the greatest place in the world if you're a football fan. It's just amazing.
So
Hense will be there. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to be or not.
Mini recorder going.
They're going to be there. Breaking news.
We'll figure it all out. All right, guys.
All right, guys. We out.
Thank you. Everybody, make sure they go to chiefsblitz.com. Check out our subscribers. We hit a milestone, so we're on our way with our subscribers. So we're definitely moving upwards. We appreciate the new people that Hense and Andre are part. And again, the theme for 2024 is, at all cost, three-peat NFL Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Peace out, everybody.
We out.